you. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everybody is doing well today. Today I want to talk briefly about our, meaning Leeds High School, continuous improvement plan as based on the framework from Lazat and McKee. If we look at Leeds City Schools, we see that Leeds has 3 schools that comprise our district. One being Leeds High School, the other Leeds Middle School, and lastly Leeds Elementary School. Collectively, there are about 1,800 students that make up Leeds City Schools. The 3 schools have gathered members of its own respective CIPs, continuous improvement plan members, and the teams met in an effort to look at what was going on in respect to curriculum, and we wanted to be able to map the curriculum from kindergarten all the way to the 12th grade. It was a part of our SACS accreditation recommendation that we do this, and so we wanted to be able to make sure that our teachers knew exactly what it is that was going to be responsible, or they were going to be responsible for in respect to aligning curriculum. Our CIP teams here at Leeds High School, our team should I say, is consisted of community stakeholders, parents, central office personnel, administration, teachers, and students. We wanted to get a well-rounded group to develop this team so we could have multiple levels of input. And of course, the CIP team at Leeds High School, we've established goals and a vision of what we believe is in the best interest of our students. The Leeds High School CIP team has created a clear mission for its school. And what we wanted to be able to do was make sure that this mission, or vision if you will, was very clearly defined. And if you look at every single classroom in our building, to include offices, lunchroom, etc., has posters and banners and little signs on the walls and on my desk even that says Leeds City School promotes achievement, respect, and success. And we know that's very important because every single day we want to be reminded when we hit the building, and have our students be reminded as we hit the building, that achievement, respect, and student success is the #1 goal and mission of Leeds High School. And the CIP team evaluates annually to see if that mission statement needs to be amended, if there's something that needs to be changed based on what's going on in the community, or perhaps what's going on here at our school. Leeds High School has vertically aligned the curriculum from grades 9 through 12. Teachers have formed grade level teams to examine and construct the curriculum map that I just made mention of. And you know in your respective classrooms how important it really is to have your curriculum mapping in place so you know what you're teaching is an extension of what has been taught previously, and more importantly being able to tie in what you're teaching into what the student is going to be taught in a future class. So that's very important. As a result of mapping the curriculum at Leeds High School, teachers now have an understanding, as I just made mention of, as what needs to be taught, and more importantly, how we're going to go about assessing that information, those standards. Advancement via individual determination, we call AVID, is a program that our teachers use in an effort to differentiate instruction. We've been using the AVID program now for about 7 or 8 years. And what we found is if our teachers are able to differentiate the instruction, much like our RTI model when we think about our Tier 2 and our Tier 3, that our students are able to grasp a hold of these standards and better digest the information that the teachers are disseminating, which is very important. Also, administration examines and assesses teacher lesson plans and pacing guides for effective to make sure that it is applicable to what the teacher needs to be teaching, the standard, it meshes, and we know students, as we progress monitor, are learning. And that's the most important thing, student achievement. Leeds High School, our continuous improvement plan is developed annually, and it's monitored frequently throughout the school year to determine if there needs to be tweaks. Like I'll give you an example, some of you remember, where in which we had a class, or should I say we had students going into a class where one teacher was trying to teach multiple standards, math, reading, and language, where we looked at it and we realized that we needed to tweak it because it wasn't effective. And so what we wound up doing is we created a math intervention along with a language and a reading intervention in an effort to address those students' needs individually in small group and one-on-one. And we found that to be very, very effective, which of course allowed us to be able to experience gains on the Alabama High School graduation exam, which I'll talk about a little later. However, as you see, as we monitored the plan, we saw that it needed to be changed. So that's why it's always important to frequently monitor those plans. After a careful study of the demographics, it was determined that an ELL instructor at Leeds High School was needed in an effort to address the concerns and the needs of our growing ELL population. We went from about, when I first took over as, well, let me back up even. When I first came to Leeds High School 10 years ago, we had roughly about 3 or 4% ELL population. That number now has grown to roughly 12 to 14%. We know that it's a very transient population, so that's why I say that number fluctuates from 12 to 14%. However, it's continuing to grow, and those students need to academically be, I guess, made aware of what it is, what the expectations are. Not only the students, but the parents need to be made aware of what the expectations are, and we need to be able to forge a stronger relationship so we can have better student success in our ELL population. The CIP also addresses critical areas identified in the Alabama State Department of Ed score report. So when we get that score report, we have to look at it and then be able to determine which critical areas that we want to focus on in an effort to make sure that we're meeting the standards, that we're meeting the goals. Reflect. As we did reflect from last year to this year, we looked at moving from a block schedule to a 7-period day. So students would go from 96 minutes, 4 blocks, and then switch again in these from the fall to the spring semester to 4 more classes. What we decided was to be able to, in an effort, gain greater continuity, and more importantly, having students to be more engaged, as well as teachers more engaging, if you will. We moved to a 50-minute period, which gives, I believe, stronger focus on the standard, and then it gives, more importantly, the students an opportunity over a 36-week period to gain more information. Also, Leeds High School is using technology, newspapers, and other media sources in an effort to be fully transparent. We want our stakeholders, our community members, to know exactly what's going on here at Leeds High School in respect to our vision, in respect to the mission. So that's critically important that we get this information out, and we can always do a better job. After careful reflection, Leeds High School, we decided that instead of having multiple areas to look at, to scale down, and let's really focus on 2 or 3 areas for improvement and really pour in all of our efforts in those 2 or 3 areas. And when we did, we found that we had greater success, and we were able to make the significant gains that we certainly envisioned. The LHS CIP is a living, functional document. Why? Because it is living. We live it as educators in this building. The students live it in what they do and carry out every single day. So it is a very living, functional document that has guided our improvement strategies. And also, Leeds High School has developed a plan with specific goals in mind, making our time back into what I said, narrowing our goals. And the objectives are embedded in the CIP that are very clear and very unambiguous. So looking at it, you know exactly what the goals are and what we are doing to meet those goals. The stakeholders and community leaders fully support the vision of Leeds High School and the CIP that has been implemented. You know as well as I do, without community support, I notice some of y'all looking around now, but you understand that it's very critical that we have full buy-in from the community members and the stakeholders that are doing a lot of things in our schools, financially, showing up, non-monetarily, and providing the supports that we need. And also there is a strong articulation of the vision throughout the community, and that's done by you guys. You guys, take a look at yourselves. You guys are the ones that go out there and articulate our vision, our mission, what all the good things we're doing here at Leeds High School, and that is what we know to be a very clear articulation of our vision. The do. Leeds High School, I'm very proud to say, has a veteran staff of teachers that are committed to working for our students and improving student achievements. And that is critical. Leeds High School also has been committed to putting in place a CIP that utilizes the data in determining the strengths and the weaknesses of student achievement, so we know where we need to place that focus. The CIP team has been innovative in constructing new strategies to improve student achievement on the Alabama High School graduation rate. And I know some of you, we talked about in a previous discussion where we wanted to close that achievement gap between our minority and non-minority students. And I think now, as we are creating these new innovative strategies, that we have certainly decreased and closed that achievement gap. We went from about a 44% graduation cohort of 2011 to, in our minority students, to now we're looking at about a 72-74%. So that lets us know that we've increased that number, and we are so elated of the job that you guys are doing. And last but not least, Leeds High School strives for continuous improvement, and we take every opportunity we possibly can to celebrate our students' achievements. That being said, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for your time. If there's any questions, please feel free at this time to raise those questions. If not, I certainly thank you and look forward to us continuing to do wonderful things in an effort to meet the goal, or should I say help our students to meet their goals and to experience success. Because here at Leeds City Schools, we are promoting achievement, respect, and what? Success. Thank you.